Dear students, greeting you all very fine morning. I am G. Ganapati, your English teacher. Today it's my warm welcome to our English session as part of our decent distant learning program. Dear children, now let us continue our revision part for FA1 examinations. Today it's my welcome for the students of class 7th CBSE, right? Children, already you know that your examination paper will be for 25 marks. It is objective test, right? Earlier we discussed some pronouns, grammar part. From grammar part you can get 7 marks, right? Here kinds of pronouns. Already we discussed personal pronouns and possessive pronouns, reflexive pronouns and interrogative pronouns, okay? And reciprocal pronouns. These are the pronouns we have discussed earlier. But now come to demonstrative pronouns. See, the topic is pronouns. See, demonstrative. Demonstrative pronouns. So what are the demonstrative pronouns? For example, this, that, these, those, right children? So how the question comes from here? This is a book, this is a book, this is underlined. What kind of pronoun? The underlined word. Is it a demonstrative pronoun? Understood? So for example, this is a classroom. This is a classroom, right? This is underlined. Here, name the pronoun. For example, name the pronoun. Name the kind of pronoun. Name the kind of pronoun. Right. So here option A, reciprocal. Option B, demonstrative. Option C, relative. Right children? So this is how questions will come from this. So answer is demonstrative pronoun, right? This, that, these, they, these, those. These are called demonstrative pronouns. Okay, right. Next, distributive pronouns, children. Distributive. See, distributive. Distributive pronouns. So what are the distributive pronouns? Each, either, neither, any. Each, either, neither, any. Right. So these are the distributive pronouns. Each student is given. Each student is given one book. Each distributive pronoun. Right. Either of the students could not answer the question. So either is distributive pronoun. Okay. Neither of the students answered the question. So they did not answer. Neither is distributive pronoun, right? If you identify the kind of pronoun, you can easily score the marks, right? So it is about the pronouns topic, children. Come here. My mother, see next page, page number 8. 8 children, page number 8. Let us see. My mother and me went shopping on Sunday. So, error part, me is underlined. My mother and me. Is it right? My mother and I is correct. Okay, you have to use personal pronoun. Right, children? My mother and me went shopping on Sunday is wrong. My mother and I is correct. My mother and me is wrong. Second sentence. This book and that laptop are my. This book and that laptop are my. My is wrong. So what is the correct one here? Mine. See children, first one, me is wrong. The correct one is I. Right. The second one, laptop or my. My is wrong. Mine. Possessive pronoun should be used. See, my is wrong. So what is the correct one? Mine. Right. So what kind of pronoun? Possessive pronoun. Right. It's personal pronoun. Third one. The dog recognizes its red color. Its red color. See, it is given. It is wrong. So here you have to write its red color. See, here it is possessive pronoun. So it is. It's should be written like this. It is a possessive pronoun. The steward whom served we was very polite. Served we is wrong. Served us. Served we is wrong. So you can replace with us. Okay, us also personal pronoun, right? Next one. The police arrested his for traffic violation. The police arrested him is correct, not his. His is wrong. Him is personal pronoun. His is wrong. So, him is correct. Right? Do you know everyone who can help us? Do you know everyone who can help us? Wrong. Us is wrong. Who can help you? Us is wrong. Help you is correct. Right? Give this to the boy. Give this to the boy which wins the tournament. So it is wrong. Which is wrong? Which is wrong? So the correct one is who. Who wins the race? The streets of Old Delhi are more crowded than that of South Delhi. Than that of, see, that is wrong here. That. So correct one is those. Right? So it is the exercise given in the page number 8. Come here, next. Okay children, shall I rub it? Come to the next poem on the grasshopper and cricket. On the grasshopper and cricket. It is a poem, right? So who wrote this poem? On the grasshopper and cricket was written by John Keats, right? John Keats. Children, how does the question come from here? So, what was written by John Keats? Okay, you will be given three options. You can write on the grasshopper and cricket. Who wrote the poem on the grasshopper and cricket? Option, you are given three. The correct option is John Keats. Okay. He was born in Moorgate, London. See, next one, the question we can expect here. John soon developed an interest in literature and history after his parents died. He went to work with surgeon. John struggled between his medical career and writing ambitions. He soon resolved to become a poet instead of a surgeon. In 1816, John's first sonnet, O Solitude, was published in the magazine called The Examiner. Okay. So, when was his first sonnet published? When was John Keats' first sonnet published? So, you can write options. The correct option is 1816. Right. Some of his most famous works. Here also John Milton wrote dash. You are given options on the grasshopper and cricket, B. On first looking into Champion's Homer, C. Some other thing wrong will be given. Okay. So you have to find the correct one. On the grasshopper and cricket was first published in 1817. See. When was the poem on the grasshopper published? Grasshopper and cricket published. 1817, 1917 and 1827. So the correct option is 1817. See children. So when was this poem published? 1817. So keep these points in mind. Next one, see. It remains one of Keats' most loved poems. Okay, it has 14 lines. How many lines does the poem on the grasshopper and cricket? How many lines? 14 lines. See children, 14 lines is the correct option, right? So which qualifies it is as a sonnet, right? And one more question here. What kind of poem on the grasshopper and cricket? What kind of poem? So the correct option is sonnet, right? What is the correct option? Sonnet, right? So what kind of poem? The grasshopper and cricket. What kind of poem it is? A. Sonnet, B. Elegy, C. Ode. So the correct option is sonnet, right? Now, so he was being inspired by nature, and John Keats was no exception. He was a keen observer of his surroundings, and even the smallest of insects did not escape his attention and admiration. So let us see the poem. See children, the poetry of earth is never dead. Poetry of earth is never dead. What kind of figures of speech is used here? Simile, personification, hyperbole. The correct option is personification. What is meant by poetry of earth? The correct answer is the song of nature. Right? When all the birds are faint with the hot sun, see, when all the birds on the earth, in the nature, all the birds are faint. Faint means feeling weak, tired, dizzy, exhausted. Why? Why were they exhausted? Because of the hot sun, summer. And they fainted, and they are hiding in a cooling trees, in the bushes, in the trees. By the time a voice will run from hedge to hedge. Hedge to hedge means fence to fence, fencing to fencing. About the new mown mead, freshly cut grass. Mead means freshly cut grass. Who is that? That is the grasshopper. So grasshopper is the symbol of grasshopper is symbol of summer. Right? Grasshopper is the symbol of summer. He takes the lead. Who takes the lead when summer comes? Grasshopper takes the lead. When all the birds are fainted and taking rest in the trees, in the branches. So, takes the lead. So that he said there is no end for the song of the earth. There is no end. Always it is very joyful. He takes the lead in the summer luxury. He has never done with the delight, for when he tired out with the fun, he rests at ease beneath some pleasant weed. So when it is tired, so it takes rest. Where does it take rest? Beneath some pleasant weed. Weed means unwanted plants. So when it tired, singing and singing. So the poetry of earth is ceasing never stops. Ceasing means never stops. The poetry of earth, here also there is a imagery, right? Ceasing never, closing never. On alone, a winter evening when the frost means ice, has wrought means brought silence. From the stove there shrills means high pitched sounds. The cricket song, see, when grasshopper tired during the summer, when the winter comes, the cricket takes place. Right? So it is said that there is no end for the song of the earth, poetry of the earth. Always nature is musical. Summer, winter, all the seasons, rainy season, every season. But even during the summer is the symbol. Grasshopper is the symbol of summer. Cricket is the symbol of winter, right? The cricket song in warmth increases ever and seems to one in drowsiness. Children, what is meant by drowsiness? You are given options, but the correct option is sleepiness. Drowsiness means sleepiness of last. The grasshopper among some grassy hills. Right, children? Here, main theme is the poem of the song of the earth will never end. Even in the summer, who takes the role? Grasshopper. It sings songs jumping from fence to fence. When it tired, the cricket takes role. Cricket will be active and it sings songs. So finally, it is said that the song of the earth will never be ceased, never be stopped. It will be perennial, continual. Right? And here, this poem is a sonnet. Sonnet has 14 lines, 14 iambic pentameter lines. See? So, how the stanzas are divided in this sonnet. Sonnet has, for example, two parts. So, for the first part has octave. Second part is sestet. Sonnet has two parts, two stanzas, octave, sestet. So octave, how many lines? 8. 8 lines are octave, sestet 6 lines. 8 plus 6, 14 lines, right? The theme of the poem is poetry and music in nature don't perish. Poetry and music in nature don't Perish. Children, did you understand? Perish means no end. It will never be closed. See, so that is the theme of this poem. Already, if you see your videos earlier that you were sent, you could understand better. But this is how questions will be formed from here. Here in this poem, personification, imagery and alliteration is used. Alliteration, for example, stow there stills, S and S repeated, consonant is repeated, that is called alliteration. See? Whose voice do you hear on the summer afternoon? You can get options. The correct option is grasshopper, right? Which insect takes over from the grasshopper in winter? Correct option is cricket. Next. Explain what the speaker means when he says the poetry of earth is ceasing never. Already we discussed the song of nature is never silent. When one of the insects retire, the other one is always there to take place. Why does the cricket song sound like the grasshoppers? One can hardly identify the difference between when they are drowsy during the winter. We cannot identify, right? So here, the entire conversation is called symbolism, right? Symbolism. One is the season of summer and the season of winter, right? The season of winter is symbolized by cricket, insect cricket. The season of summer is symbolized by grasshopper. Right, children? And here see, what kind of world do all the words paint for you? You are given 3 options. The correct option is, see the page number 14, a peaceful, restful, relaxed world. Right? Next one. You are given some sounds. It is very important part regarding your examination. You can expect from this page at least 2-3 marks, right? So please focus on it. See children, sound bird. For example, first one, chirping. Name of the bird. Can you name the bird which makes chirping? Which bird makes the sound chirping? What is the name of the bird that makes the sound chirping? Here you are given different options, right? A, bees, B, ducks, C, crickets. So the correct option is crickets. Crickets. These are the insects, right? They take role actively in the winter. Right, children? So it is the sound name. Second one, cackling. Cackling. So which bird makes cackling? Which bird sounds like cackling? Options: thrushes, doves, crickets, doves. Right? Next, which bird makes buzzing sound? Which bird makes buzzing sound? Buzzing. So you can easily guess here options: ducks, hens, bees. Correct option is bees. Right? Fourth one, quacking. Which bird makes the sound quacking? Okay, options here: sparrows, ducks, bees. Correct option is ducks. If you concentrate on this topic, you will be successful getting 2-3 marks, right? Cooing. The next one, cooing. Cooing. So the name of the bird, the sound is cooing. The name of the bird. Option A, hens. Option B, sparrows. Option C, ducks. The correct option is hens. Right? Whistling. See children? Whistling. So name of the bird which makes sounds like whistling. Here options: thrushes, bees, ducks. Thrushes. Right children? Last one, twittering. Twittering. Can you name the bird which makes the sounds like twittering? Here also options: hens, sparrows, ducks. The correct answer is sparrows. Right children? So from this page surely you can get 2-3 marks. So please focus on it and let us continue our revision part in the coming video. Okay children, please focus on the textual exercises. Thank you children. Thank you all.